You're watching coverage you can count on. This is News Channel 15's First at 5.
We weren't sure this day would ever come, and we're very, very happy that it has.
It's amazing. I figure after 30 years that he was not going to get caught for sure.
And I let my daughter play right here in my yard, knowing the fact that this person just lives right down the street from my house.
It's just such a feeling of relief and hope that maybe this nightmare is going to be over.
Finally, a breakthrough in one of Fort Wayne's most notorious cold cases. Team coverage on the murder of young April Tinsley starts now. Seeking justice for April. Tonight, News Channel 15's Ruben Solis is live at April's garden, where people have been laying flowers and hanging balloons since news broke of an arrest in this case. Chris Darby spoke with DNA experts about the technology that was used, and Rachel Russell sat down with a psychiatrist regarding the state of mind for the suspect living with this case for 30 years. Then Alyssa Iverson takes us back through the effort of detectives to bring April's killer to justice. But first, we start with News Channel 15's Angelica Robinson. She was in the courtroom this morning as John Miller made his first appearance in court. She leads our team coverage tonight. Angelica.
Tara, John D. Miller made a brief appearance in court today. He was emotionless, soft-spoken, and shackled at his hands and feet. Allen County Prosecutor Karen Richards read Miller his charges. He faces preliminary charges of murder, child molesting, and criminal confinement. When Richards asked if he was aware of the charges, Miller simply replied yes. About a dozen people showed up in support of April Tinsley, about 3 or 4 of them wearing custom T-shirts with her picture that read, "Never Forgotten." One of those people was April Tinsley's aunt, who was emotional during today's hearing. Teresa Tinsley told News Channel 15 that it was overwhelming to sit across from Miller today. She said in recent years she questioned if they would ever find April's killer. And when she learned the news yesterday, it took a while to sink in. The state requested 72 hours to file formal charges against Miller. He is scheduled to appear in court again on Thursday. Right now, he's being held without bond. In Studio 15, Angelica Robinson, News Channel 15.
Angelica, thank you. Now, decades after this crime was committed, we are looking into the possible lifestyle of the suspected killer for the past 30 years. News Channel 15's Rachel Russell continues our team coverage now with information from a psychologist. Rachel, what insight was offered?
Tara, many people wonder how the killer of April Tinsley has been living in society for the last 30 years after committing such a crime. Dr. Stephen Ross is a forensic and clinical psychologist. He told me that some psychological features that are found in murderers can be sexual disorientation, aggression, history of verbal and physical abuse, and being bullied. Indiana State Code says that the basis for an insanity defense must mean a mental illness renders the suspect incapable of knowing right from wrong. Dr. Ross has worked with the psychologist that studied serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer and says although there is no specific stereotype for child murderers, there are some warning signs.
Those who have killed children, who have a sexual predilection, are very immature, harboring sexual fantasies which come and go. They tend to be isolationists. They're on their own. They may be able to function in society, may be able to go to work, may be able to do their lawn outside their trailer, may be able to do lots of different things. But there's a deep, dark secret that rears its ugly head every now and then.
Dr. Ross shared with me that leaving notes or contacting police in other cases like this shows the taunting of authorities and the connection that they might have a sense of guilt. We asked Dr. Ross what made Miller come forward after 30 years in hiding. For that answer, tune in at 6. In studio, Rachel Russell, News Channel 15.
Rachel, thank you. Since the arrest was made, people in the neighborhood not far from where April lived have been going to the small garden dedicated to keeping April's memory alive. And that is where we find News Channel 15's Ruben Solis. Ruben, what are you seeing there?
Tara, neighbors have been stopping by ever since they learned the news that an arrest was made in April's case. They've been leaving flowers, balloons, or really just stopping by. They say this is their way to celebrate this big breakthrough.
It took Pretty much my whole life.
One day after an arrest was made in April Tinsley's homicide, the memorial garden to remember her has even more life.
The pink and purple were April's favorite colors.
Colleen Obergfell set up these pink balloons here at the corner of Hoagland and Masterson Avenues to celebrate the big break on Sunday. By Monday, even more balloons appeared.
She'd come down here and play, and they were friends with the people down the street.
Pat 5 lives right across from where April was abducted 30 years ago. He still remembers the little girl that played with his daughters.
It's got to be a great relief to know what's happened to April, and hopefully this will put a final ending to the story.
As April's case moves to court, the community is hoping justice is served. 30 years is not too late to give the family the comfort they deserve.
The family can finally have closure. I can't imagine what a mother goes through knowing that her daughter's missing.
For now, this neighborhood is thankful a potential killer is off the streets. And with flowers, balloons, and ribbons, they're continuing to keep her alive in the minds of many.
The people of Fort Wayne and all over the United States, we never forgot about April. We've always cared about her and what happened to her. And we always prayed for the day that this person would be caught.
The Hoagland Masterson Neighborhood Association created this memorial for April. It's been here for 3 years. Live from Hoagland and Masterson, I'm Ruben Solis, News Channel 15.
All right, sir, thank you. The path that led police to John Miller was created through DNA evidence, a concept not nearly as effective back in 1988. A system in place to help find genetic histories is now helping solve crimes like the Tinsley case. Because of that, though, some people are choosing not to share their DNA information. News Channel 15's Chris Darby joins us live now in the newsroom. Chris, what are you finding out?
Tara, we're in an interesting crossroads when it comes to genetic research and solving crimes. We know that DNA is collected when someone is arrested and put in a system used by law enforcement. John Miller's DNA had not been collected that way. The profile was created after used condoms found in 2004 were saved and became a big part of the investigation. According to court documents, a lab that specializes in genetic research, not criminal, was working with police and was able to narrow down the list of suspects. More and more people are sharing genetic information when they send DNA into places like Ancestry.com. A program called GEDmatch compiles that information to help in research.
That is a free and voluntary thing that you can do with your data, and you can also delete it back off of GEDmatch. And so I've heard that some people are doing that because they are concerned about privacy and worrying that their DNA could be used for this unintended purpose.
The same process of genetic research was able to solve the Golden State Killer case. That incident really is the one that started raising questions about how the research is being used. Now, I talked with someone who works at the lab that worked with the Fort Wayne Police Department to help get to this point in the case. We're going to hear from her coming up at 6. Live in the newsroom, Chris Darby, News Channel 15.
Cuff, there are still a lot of unanswered questions about the investigation that we have for police. 15 finds out investigative anchor Alyssa Ivinson has been working to get answers.
I've been talking with the detectives who worked this case, and they can't do an interview with me just yet. But I did sit down with them for a long interview a few months ago, leading up to the 30-year anniversary of the Tinsley case. Detectives from Fort Wayne Police Department, State Police, the Allen County Sheriff's Department, and the FBI all went over the evidence with me, and they said they knew that one day this arrest would come.
I can't tell you how many thousands of man-hours have been put into it. A lot of detective work, and then a lot of evidence collection and submissions to laboratories. We have the evidence to solve it if we can find the right guy.
I know that we can get who did this. I'd like it to be sooner than later. I wish it would have been 10 years ago.
I've been waiting for that one day for a long, long time. And so it still hasn't come yet.
That day, finally here. The wait, finally over. A man behind bars, John D. Miller, charged with abducting, raping, and killing little April Marie Tinsley in 1988. On the eve of the 30th anniversary 3 months ago, 15 Finds Out sat down with all the detectives still involved in the case, a case they say wasn't cold. They were not giving up.
And we do have DNA in this case. It's only a matter of time before we find the person that's responsible for this.
And you're confident that will happen?
Yes.
Are you still confident that this can be solved?
Yes, absolutely.
More than 800 tips, DNA of 600 suspects on file, slowly, methodically, whittled down over the decades.
There is that possibility that the 100 we have left, our suspect could be on that list.
With the advances of DNA and the databases that are available and the companies that are doing different things with DNA, I feel it's just a matter of time.
Because you have the suspect's DNA.
Correct.
But it just doesn't match anywhere yet.
Correct.
Then it did. A DNA match came back on July 9th. Detectives collected evidence from John Miller's trash outside his Grable home, and it again matched the suspect's DNA found with April in 1988. When police knocked on his door, court documents say Miller immediately knew why and confessed to a crime that has captivated the community for 30 long years. The question of who may be one step closer to being answered. And now another question.
Why?
Perhaps the biggest question.
That'd be the main question I would ask him over and over and over again. Why?
Might get an answer too.
Although maybe someday my why will probably get answered, but then again, I don't know.
Again, we'll hear from police for the first time tomorrow. We'll have the latest developments all morning long on First News. And then I will be live at the press conference tomorrow at 11 a.m. with continuing coverage on WANE.com and on our news at noon. Alyssa Ivinson, News Channel 15.
And of course, our team coverage continues throughout this evening as well. News Channel 15's Kaitor K is working to learn more about John D. Miller. Look for that story and any new developments on our website, WANE.com, and tonight on Nightcast at 11. Turning now to weather, we have had a gray Monday with some scattered rain to start the work week. Will it continue? For the answer, let's check in now with Nicholas.
Yes, we have a few more hours of rain chances. Now, today, not everyone has seen the rain, and that's going to be the case here this evening. The rain will remain widely scattered throughout the area. You can see on Storm Tracker behind me now, much of northeast Indiana and northwest Ohio is dry. The best rain chances over the next couple hours are going to come to the south of Fort Wayne. Right now, we have rain approaching Wabash, Marion, and Hartford City. We get a few good downpours at times, could also have some thunder and lightning. When you get a storm over you, of course, cool down. We've had some scattered rain around Fort Wayne, and that rain brought our temperatures down into the 70s. It's 76 now in the Summit City, 83 though in Kendallville, 74 in Bluffton, and 86 in Hartford City. Still humid now, but humidity will decrease tomorrow. 84 at 6 o'clock, at 9, 78, at midnight, 73. Overnight temperatures will fall to 70 and below to start off our Tuesday. Coming up in the 10-day forecast, after a sunny, comfortable stretch by the end of the week, we're looking at our next rain chance. I'm tracking that for you in just a few minutes.
Still ahead on First at 5, a Three Rivers Festival tradition is taking place tonight. We'll preview the waiter and waitress contest. Plus, how much money Kroger raised for the Fort Wayne Children's Zoo. We're back in a moment.
Coverage you can count on continues with Tara Brentley.
$85,000. That's how much Kroger helped raise during its annual Zoo Day. Back in May, area stores donated a percentage of their sales to the Fort Wayne Children's Zoo. Organizers say community support is what keeps the zoo going.
Our customers really stepped up this year and made that record happen, but it couldn't happen without our great associates asking those customers as they're coming through the check lanes.
This was the 26th annual Zoo Day. Dozens of local waiters and waitresses will show off their skills tonight in the waiter and waitress contest. Teams from several area restaurants will set up tables for 4 as quickly as they can. El Azteca has won the contest for the past 2 years and is hoping to become the first ever three-peat champs. The contest begins at 6 this evening at Headwaters Park East, less than an hour from now. If you can't make it, we will have highlights for you tonight at 11 on Nightcast. All righty, go teams.
Yeah, go teams. I love the looks on those people's faces watching. Okay, in weather tonight, rain will clear out, and then we have a comfortable stretch coming. I'll fill you in the forecast after this.
Coverage you can count on continues with Chief Meteorologist Nicholas Ferreri's live Doppler 15 Fury forecast.
We've had some periods of scattered rain and thunderstorms over the course of this day, and if you were in one of those spots that saw the storms, you know we had some very gloomy moments. Here's a look at some photos that came in from our WANE weather app. Thanks to all of you for submitting today. You can see the thick cloud cover here with the caption simply looking dark. Then we had this photo after storms moved through in Fort Wayne. This person took their uncle to work, and then after, they saw a nice rainbow on the way home. Remember, when you submit your photos, not only include a good caption with a location, but also share your name so I can let everybody know who took the photo. Here's Jefferson Point. The clouds thick earlier as scattered rain moved through the central and southern part of Allen County. We now start to see the clouds decrease at the end of this loop and some sunshine coming on through. The clouds will keep on decreasing tonight because we have the front that is causing the rain is moving east tonight, and it'll head away from us, and that's what brings us into a nice, dry, sunny stretch over the upcoming days. So it was feast or famine in the rainfall department today. The official rain gauge at the Fort Wayne Airport only saw 1/100th of an inch, so not much at all. Some of you haven't seen anything, while others have gotten a good soaking. We're still waiting for more rainfall reports to come in from our area observers. When I get them, I'll share them with you here on the Weather Report. On Storm Tracker right now, most of the area, especially from Fort Wayne northward, is dry. We have some rounds of scattered rain down to the south around Wabash, Marion, Hartford City, even east approaching Portland, a few showers on the way for you. Nothing really all that strong or severe, but still some good downpours are out there and possible through the evening. Here's the remaining rain. This front clears the area eastward. Once we get past sunset, the rain chance pretty much out of the picture for us. Humidity is still elevated. We're at tropical on the Muggy meter, but tomorrow with the new air coming in behind this system, we're going to see the Muggy meter go down to comfortable, and our air temperatures will be decreasing as well. On Futurecast tonight, the scattered rain chance remains until about 8, 9 o'clock or so tonight. After that point, we'll be dry, but we'll still have some clouds lingering as we get into late night. But the clouds will clear by the time we get to early tomorrow morning. We have a sunny start to the day with temperatures in the low to mid 60s. 64 is our low in Fort Wayne. And then from there, expect a nice amount of sunshine during the morning into the afternoon. Winds could be a little bit gusty at times, blowing in from the northwest up to around 20 miles per hour or so. For your morning ride into work, a temperature of 64. For the afternoon ride home, 82, as that sun shines on down. On our Wednesday, we're looking at a high temperature of 80, lots of sunshine there. Thursday, 81, still dry and comfortable. On Friday, though, the rain chance returns will become a little bit more humid, 84. Over the weekend, highs in the upper 70s with some scattered rain and thunderstorms possible each day. Then next week, dry with highs in the 80s. That's your forecast. More news after this.
Coverage you can count on continues with Tara Brentley.
If you've ever had ringing in your ears, you might need to see a specialist about tinnitus. That tops tonight's stories for your well-being. Dr. Ted Blanford is offering a free learning hour for those who have questions about it. Tinnitus affects about 1 in 5 people, and it could be the beginning of more damage, such as age-related hearing loss, ear injury, or a circulatory system disorder.
There isn't a cure yet for tinnitus, but with the right treatment and the right counseling, the sound can be treated and reduced for a livable and comfortable lifestyle.
The learning hour is Wednesday at 10 in the morning. Blanford's office is on North County Line Road in Columbia City. Today is your last day to RSVP. If you can't make it to this one, there will be another one in Fort Wayne on the 25th. Coming up, Nicholas has one last look at your forecast.
Scattered rain chances exit in just a few hours, and we're dry tomorrow, cooler and more comfortable outside, high of 83.
Just bring it down, that humidity.
Yes, we'll do that.
All right, Nicholas, thanks. We'll see you back here tonight at 6.